Information station 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Have you seen all the security around the Republican National Convention? Holy mackerel. That's a story in and of itself. They've got security at the boat docks because Cleveland, of course, is right up against Lake Erie. And it's just amazing how the technology has been used and the manpower in this case. Now, and if you're trying to take care of your own house, the security of your own office, your own house, obviously you don't have the manpower. That they've got the Coast Guard, they've got the sheriff's, they've got everybody checking it. Oh my gosh! And thank goodness they do. I was watching this thing the other day, and these children were in school, and they were paying for their school lunches with their fingerprints. Did you see this?
I didn't see that.
And the teachers were saying it's so much better because before they had to have a card, and if they didn't have their card, they had to at least know their number on the card, and it wasn't easy to remember that number because it was a long number. And so this new technology enables them to, and the same technology can be used to go through a door. And so I know somebody who knows a lot about this, and he's on the phone. Seth Posner is on the phone. You know Seth from AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Sometimes he comes into the studio. Today he's on the phone. He's going to talk to us about security. And of all the times we've had Seth in the studio or talked to him at all, I don't think this technology has ever come up.
I don't think so.
Good morning, Seth. How you doing? Seth?
I'm better now.
Oh, there you are. There you are. Where are you?
I'm driving right now, just coming back in from Gainesville.
Oh, okay, okay. Did you see any of the Republican National Convention security coverage, or did you just watch any of it at all? Or
No, I wanted to watch it. It's been on the agenda to actually start to watch, but we've been extremely busy with our call volume as of late, and yes, prevented me from being able to watch it.
Yeah, but okay, and hopefully you heard me talk about the kids paying for their school lunches with their fingerprints.
Yes.
So that technology that enables them to pay for their food, what does it actually do? Does it actually just basically identify the child?
Yeah, the biometric technology has been around for years, and they're just making it considerably better in today's market. Yeah, I've got, I'll get back on that in a second, but I've got a project up in Panhandle right now for a sheriff's department that we're looking at putting biometric fingerprint readers in place. Basically, it's a database that once everybody gets enrolled into the database, then you just use your fingerprint, it scans it. It actually takes 3 images of the fingerprint, compares it, so it can ensure that it's actually the right person. The ones that we're looking at for the sheriff's department is actually a dual purpose. It's actually a fingerprint reader as well as a vein reader.
A vein reader?
So it actually scans the symmetry of the veins as well as the fingerprints.
The vein in the finger?
Correct.
Oh, wow.
How cool is that?
Oh, wow. What does it use, like a mini ultrasound or something?
No.
No? How does it know?
It's not an ultrasound. It's just an optical reader that actually it maps out the veins in the finger and there's the same things for palms. It'll map out the entire vein layout, if you will.
So what happens when the power goes out? Do you also simultaneously install a regular lock with a regular key?
When I install a project, yes, I absolutely do a mechanical backup.
Wow.
So basically what it does is it identifies you, and will we see this more common? Like, gosh, I can't think of a use. I could see it coming into the door here at the studio, or going home. Okay, let me in, honey. I changed your fingerprint. Like if I had mayonnaise on my finger, would it still work?
Well,
I don't know why I would have mayonnaise.
With the new technology utilizing the vein readers.
Oh, okay.
It's you're doing both, so it's actually taking the best reads. So if if it can't get a good read on the fingerprint mapping, but it gets a better read on the vein, then that's what it's actually going to use to give you valid enrollment.
Are the is the equipment that keeps the fingerprints in the vein reader in its memory so the door opens? Is it all kept on site, or is it kept off site?
The reader itself has its own internal memory, so everything is stayed local to the component. It's going to have a database that can be held off-site or on-site, whichever the facility chooses to utilize.
Really? We were thinking about your line of business this morning because of all the reports from the security at the Republican National Convention. And I was thinking, gosh, back in the day, a locksmith basically had to know how to make keys and open combination safes and things like that. But now you have cameras, you got to know electronics. I mean, there's so much involved. And now this new technology that reads veins and fingerprints. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you guys have to know how to do.
Oh, our world is evolving greatly. Next month, I'm actually looking forward to it. Next month, we get the biggest locksmith security convention of our kind in Orlando, so I'm looking forward to seeing all the new products that manufacturers are going to have out at that show.
Oh, and you're going to tell us after the fact what new stuff is out there?
And I'm going to try to bring in some stuff for some demos and.
Oh, show and tell. Oh, good.
Next month.
I always love show and tell. It's my favorite class.
Will you be presenting at that locksmith show? Will you be giving a talk?
I will not be. Mm-hmm. No, I'm just going for the show and tell, for the education.
Wow, it's amazing. So do you have customers who are on the cutting edge with the rest of? Because I'm always last. Like Pokemon Go, I don't even know what it is yet.
It's funny. My wife just asked me this morning, "Have you done anything with that Pokemon Go?" I'm like, "No."
No. Okay, so you're not alone. I mean, I'm not alone. It's like everybody was doing this, and then I finally hear about it. How come I'm always the last to hear about these things? Mm-hmm. But do you have some customers who are first on everything, and they find out about this new technology, and they want a new lock or a new camera system or something?
I would love to tell you yes. I get a lot of customers that will call up and inquire about the new technology. Then they find out about the price. It's just like TVs. When
the price.
Out, it was just ridiculously expensive, and now you can get a nice LED TV for a quarter of the price of what a plasma ever used to think about. It's the same thing with our world as the product is coming out. It's in some cases very expensive, and in other cases it's very reasonably priced. I'm getting ready to. I've got so many projects under my belt right now. It's hard to keep track of what. I'm going out today to look at a hospital to do perimeter security for it.
Really?
Do you do anything with windows, like when businesses install these huge plate glass windows? Sometimes they
like this one,
right? All the robbers have to do is just break the window and get in. Do you have any kind of wiring or something that you put right there on the glass that people can't see that will send an alarm if the window's broken?
Oh, sure. There's we can absolutely put a foil wire on the glass. That if the glass is broken, it'll trigger that way. The new technology is glass break detector, so if you mount that 10, 15 feet from the glass, and then it's picking up the decibel sounds from the glass breaking. You've got, years ago I became a 3M certified window film installer for the safety and security window film. So I've got a couple of buildings around town that we installed that people basically know it as the hurricane film. So if the glass from breaking.
Oh my!
So you don't got to put the masking tape on anymore.
No. I got certified in that. I did a couple of buildings, and I haven't done much with it. And I'm still certified to do it. My problem is I'm just way too busy, and I can't find adequate help to handle all aspects of my business right now.
If you need any help, I'm here. You just call me.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know how. I'll probably have a lot of bubbles under it, but we can give him a discount.
Yeah, you can practice on my car.
Do you know there was we had in the studio the other day a guy running for county commission, and I'm not trying to be political here, but he said something to me that applies to what you do. He said, and I don't know if you remember, the sheriff's office put in these kiosks that had these the bad guys on the video and all that stuff.
Yep.
And so he said that, well, they're taking them all out now because they had face recognition technology on them, and that was unconstitutional or something. And don't quote me, but that was what he said, right,
Yeah,
Robin?
exactly.
Okay. That sounds like a good thing, but then again, that's like a political thing I'm saying. But the thing I think is interesting is that I thought that would be so expensive that you couldn't afford to have face recognition technology in a box like that.
Oh, I'm telling you, the equipment has come down in size. I mean, look at a cell phone. Cell phones got facial recognition as far as being able to utilize it to unlock your phone. The cost factors on everything are just way down. It's very cost effective to do a lot of things in the commercial market these days.
Do you know, I always think if facial recognition is really like everywhere, I hope John Goodman, the actor, never holds up a bank because they're going to... Because everybody tells me I look like him, and not that I'm happy about that, but they're going to come and get me.
Well, you'll be glad to know that it all comes back down to the symmetry and the mapping of the entire face and what it has to offer.
So I don't quite look like him.
That is pretty outstanding that you have that kind of mapping. That is just amazing.
Yeah, that is really amazing. So a lot of these things we're seeing more and more in our everyday life. It's not just like at the CIA headquarters. I mean, you're seeing it in the grocery stores, right? Not so much.
I haven't. I don't know what grocery store you're shopping at, but I need to stay away from that store.
Oh, okay. They don't have it. Well, here's why I say that. Okay, so I'm going to back up a little bit. There was a story about this high-pitched sound that older people can't hear.
Yeah. Like
all right. And this store shop owner didn't want the teenagers hanging out in front of his store all the time, so he installed this thing that emitted a high-pitched sound. And the kids will they say, oh my gosh, that's a horrible sound, let's get out of here. The older folks couldn't hear it. So I said, you got to be kidding. So I went online and I downloaded the MP3 file of this sound, right? Now, you're a young guy, Seth, so you might be able to hear it. But I put it on in the production room, and I could see the VU meter just pegging to the right. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh my gosh, there's some kind of a sound, but I can't hear it. I can't hear it at all. And then I was asking everybody else around me, Robin, can you hear it? Anybody can hear it? And everybody else was old, so I had to wait for somebody young. Mm-hmm. Well, the first person who came in was my son. And I said, Alex, can you hear this? And he went, gosh, turn it down. It's so loud. I said, no way. And Dan could hear it. We tried it with Dan. Dan could hear it.
Yeah.
And so that's what I mean is this technology is around, but you don't know it's there because you can't hear it.
Well, you're right. Yeah, there's a lot. Well, you driving down the interstate and you got all these antennas on these poles, and those are made by a company called TransCore. Well, I've had the luxury of installing a couple of these TransCore readers. Well, I got talking to one of the TransCore reps one day when I was at a distributor's office, and I said, I'm really confused. I know the purpose of the TransCore reader is to read a window tag or what have you, so it can unlock a gate or open a gate up within 20 feet of you getting to it. I said, but what's the purpose of these readers all over the interstate? And he explained to me that that's what they're using for it's reading the SunPass toll tags, and that's how they're able to keep track of the traffic. So they know if there's traffic backups, if the traffic
really
on the interstate, what's happening. So yeah, there's so much stuff out there that we don't even know about that government's utilizing right now.
Oh, that's interesting. And so if I have a SunPass, they already know my license plate number, and if I'm like on an Amber Alert, God forbid, but if I kidnap somebody, they would know. Oh, we got him. They would find me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because when your plate is registered to that SunPass, and if you happen to be driving that vehicle, absolutely, you're bound and determined to go
That's
back
great.
One of those readers.
Isn't that good news, though? How's your wife?
She's doing good. We were actually up in Gainesville this morning. Then middle of the night, she started. And as you guys know, but the rest of the world doesn't know yet, that my wife is pregnant, and she actually started having contractions, and way early. So fortunately, everything checked out.
Yeah.
We're back in town now.
Yeah, Robin left me a note that
Thank
said the
God.
baby's due in November, so this is way early.
And now it's looking like it's going to be more middle of October.
Oh, really? Well, good. Your life is going to change for the better. It was the biggest blessing of my life, being a father.
Well, now I'm going to have a little me to train to be a locksmith.
A little me.
How many years of schooling do you have to go through to do that? Is that something that you would get hired by a locksmith like yourself and you would do the training, or are there actual schools for that?
There are actual schools. There's none here in Florida. They're more in the Midwestern portion of the country. But my son is going to have the best because he's going to have me training him, so he can't get any better training than that.
Yeah.
No.
And then when he's 17 years old, he's going to start training you. He's going to find stuff you didn't even know existed.
Hey, when my dad taught me everything that I know, and then I got out on the road myself and started getting some years under my belt, I was actually able to come back and start showing my dad different things.
See?
I looked up to him. He gave me all the tips and tricks of the trade, and then I was able to come back and say, Dad,
That's
if you do
awesome.
it this way, it'll save 10 minutes.
Have the prisons and the jails asked you to come in to inspect their lockup items to see if they can be improved upon?
They, specifically Marion County, they're rapidly upgrading their security.
Oh, they are.
Sounds like top secret.
Absolutely.
Sounds like
okay,
he's
yeah.
reluctant to talk about
That's
it.
right.
Either that or there was a pretty girl that just walked by. I'm not so sure.
Nope. I give you the information that I can give you, and that's it.
That was top secret stuff. You're not supposed to ask that stuff.
I'm sorry, but I was just curious because Seth is the best.
In
know?
the commercial that you do, you say, why is my key to my car so expensive to replace? I have a question about my what do you call that, fob? I have a question about my fob.
Yeah.
Okay. When I push the button on my fob that blows the horn over and over again, it's so annoying. Is there another reason for that other than to just blow my horn? I mean, okay. Do I have something in my car? Do we all have something in our cars that will beep the horn if there's a bad guy trying to break into it?
Well, yeah. The alarm. All the new cars have a factory alarm system on them, and if the car is forced open without using a key or without using the remote control, the horn is gonna blow. Then you have the button on your fob, as you put it, and everybody uses those really just to find their vehicle.
To find it, yeah. Mm-hmm. But see, the other day I was in my house. And my car is parked right on the other side of the wall, so it's easy for me to accidentally hit it. But I didn't even touch it. It wasn't even on my person. It was sitting on the shelf. And then and I said, "Oh no, what happened?" And I didn't have it on me, so I turned it off. I looked outside. I said, "Did a cat or something jump on the car? Could a cat trigger that?"
On an aftermarket alarm system, absolutely. Those they have they have sensors on those that'll pick up sound, pick up vibration. On the factory installed alarm systems, they really don't have any sensors built into them. So that's kind of interesting that yours went off with no forced entry or anything.
Can we get a sensor put into our wallets, and then that way we would know if we were being pickpocketed?
I like that one.
I'm just wondering.
We just had a lady on who got pickpocketed.
I know,
That's why
twice.
she's asking.
So I'm asking.
She got pickpocketed twice.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
And the first time she saw the guy doing it, but she didn't want to fight back because she figured let him have it.
Yeah.
I got to remember to stay away from whatever area she's in.
Where was she? She's a runner and she was in a foreign country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Forget the country she was.
Yeah, so I say put a mousetrap in your pocket. So that's it.
In the very near future, we're going to get the studio wired up. I've got all the cameras and everything in, so So we're going to get you guys up to modern day technology here very soon.
The cameras are in here right now?
I've got the cameras in my store right now.
Oh, in the store. Okay.
We're looking around.
Really?
Like,
I'm looking around. I thought, I shouldn't have been so liberal with my fingers here. Whatever that means.
When you see the ATM machines, like in convenience stores and things like that, do they have a separate security system with them, or are they tied into the store security systems?
They're usually their own independent system.
Oh, okay. That's scary.
AA, Lock, Dock, and Security. Seth Posner is the guy we go to when we have questions about security because we trust him and because we know he knows what to do. I guess that's the same thing as trusting him. How do we start the process of upgrading our security systems, whether it's for our home or our car? Just call you?
Just call us. Absolutely. Marie will answer the phone. She'll get the message over to me, and sometimes just bear with me. It might take a day or two to get back with you, but definitely get back with you, and I can come out and do an analysis of the home or business and put you into the best system for your needs.
You know, I can so put myself in Seth's shoes right now, not with the security, but with the idea that in the next couple of months, his life is going to change. Because I remember when my wife was pregnant, and for what you go through as women, it's different than what we go through, especially a loving person like Seth.
Yeah, if you're loving.
Yeah, I know what you're going through. I think a little bit anyway, and so good luck with all of that.
Well, thank you. I got to tell you this little story. It was kind of comical. We were in the store trying to do the baby registry, and one of the first things that the girl came up to was the baby monitors, and she's just trying to give us this whole spiel. My mind is going all over the place. My eyes are wandering, looking at other items in the store, like, okay, we need to get past this. You're just kind of wasting your time. Finally, when she stopped talking, she goes, so do you want to put this on the registry? I said, absolutely not. My wife goes, oh, yeah, that's right. You got us covered, don't you? So, yep. There's not going to be a room in the house that someone's going to be able to go into. That we're not going to
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, they're not going to outdo you, I don't think.
No.
Yeah. Well, the beautiful part is anybody can have that exact same kind of service. They just have to call Seth.
That's right. Exactly.
Absolutely.
AA Lock, Dock, and Security. Again, the phone number is
867-1965.
867-1965. We'll of course put that on the Facebook and YouTube when we do this video. Do we have a video running? I hope I pushed the button. Yeah, I did. Just your face isn't on it. It just says the source. Seth, well, be careful out there, and you seem so busy, so I understand why you can't be in here, but we miss seeing you.
Well, thank you. It's definitely, I miss being in there because you guys are a blast to be around.
Thank you so much.
All right, Seth. You take care, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
All right. We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm or two in the area, the high 89 to 93. Clear to partly cloudy Tuesday night, low 72 inland, 79 on the coast. For Wednesday, times of sun and clouds with a stray thunderstorm, high 90 to 94. Thursday, partly sunny with a thunderstorm mainly during the afternoon hours over the interior, the high 90 to 94. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Cookies, 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 cookies. We go cookie eating cookies.
When you want something special and fun for any occasion, get cookies. King Cookie in the Paddock Mall in Ocala will make a delicious, fun-filled delight just for you. So next time you're in the mall, stop by King Cookie or call 352-237-2557. KingCookieOcala.com. Customized cookies, cakes, and more. King Cookie.
Eating cookies. We're so happy eating cookies. Cookies!
You can't put it off any longer. It's time to replace your home's AC system.
The answer is ACEsolvesItAll.com and an exceptionally efficient AC system. Let the pros at ACE show you how you can save on energy monthly and give your family added comfort. The great thing is that ACEsolvesItAll.com is on call 7 to 7, 7 days a week at no extra charge.
For a limited time, mention WOCA and get a special discount.
Call 877-765-4ACE or ACEsolvesItAll.com.
when it really counts. Depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Donald Trump's wife, the highlight of last night's GOP convention. Tonight, the theme:
Make America Work Again. And the whole idea of the program is to present Donald Trump's business record. Some of the headliners who are going to make that case: former rival Chris Christie, Dr. Ben Carson, another former rival.
Fox's Peter Ducey. A shootout with police at a gun shop near Atlanta ending in 4 arrests. Officers were responding to report of a burglary. And a German train axe attack leaves 5 hurt, 2 suffering from acute life-threatening wounds, according to prosecutors.
The attacker was a 17-year-old Afghan asylum seeker. He attacked passengers with an axe and a knife, reportedly yelling an Islamic slogan. A family from Hong Kong said to be among the casualties. One witness said there was so much blood on the floor, the train carriage looked like a slaughterhouse.
Fox Radio's Alistair Wanklin. Fox News. We report. You decide.
Napa has the family of Castro motor oils on sale starting at $3.39 a quart for conventional. So if you drive a family hauler, a cruiser, a grocery getter, a midlife crisis mobile, a clunker, a sweet van, or anything else you don't have to plug in at night, Napa has a Castro oil on sale for you starting at $3.39 a quart. That's Napa know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 7/31/16.
Throughout this election, MSNBC has been there, challenging the candidates, moderating the debates and town halls, hitting the road with the campaigns and analyzing the stories from all sides. Now, as both parties gather for their conventions, MSNBC will be there with the team that makes us the place for politics. Don't miss in-depth wall-to-wall coverage of this week's Republican National Convention and next week's Democratic National Convention on MSNBC.
Here are today's headlines from The Source. WOCA presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton is visiting Florida this week. According to a release from her campaign, Clinton will be visiting Florida on Friday and Saturday. It starts with a visit to Orlando on Friday. No campaign events are planned there, according to the most recent information from the Clinton campaign, but events are planned elsewhere. After her Orlando stop, she will campaign at a rally at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. On Saturday, Clinton will campaign at a rally in South Florida. In Tampa and South Florida, Clinton's campaign office says she will discuss her commitment to building an economy that works for all, not just those at the top. The Star Banner is reporting that the funding necessary to retain resource officers at 3 local middle schools was decided upon in an agreement between the Marion County School Board and the City of Ocala. The report states that the city would share the cost of the 2016-2017 resource officers, but would not be paying for them again in 2017 and 2018. The agreement would increase the cost to the City of Ocala by $75,000, according to the article. The 3 middle schools affected by the decision are Howard, Osceola, and Fort King. The resource officers at the local high schools and college campuses are paid for by the budget from the school district. The 2016-2017 year begins on August 10th. Ebony Wilkerson will return to court on Friday to find out if a judge will send her back to a psychiatric hospital. Wilkerson appeared before a judge yesterday. She stood trial for the attempted murder of her 3 young children after authorities say she drove them and herself into the Atlantic Ocean just off of Daytona Beach back in 2014. Wilkerson could have her conditional release revoked after she stopped taking her medication while staying at Lake Wales Care Center. Wilkerson suffered a psychiatric episode in May as a result of being off of her medication. Prosecutors have filed a motion to have Wilkerson sent back to a psychiatric hospital. Gasoline prices have been falling at a consistency not seen since last summer. State average prices fell for the 40th consecutive day on Sunday here in Florida for a total discount of 19 cents. Gasoline prices continue sliding thanks to low oil prices and increased production of gasoline, according to AAA analysts. Summertime pump prices are at their lowest level in 11 years, even though Americans are hitting the road in record numbers. Although gasoline demand for 2016 is on pace to set a new all all-time record. Refineries continue to keep the market well supplied, which keeps prices low at the pump. Although oil prices have remained low, they have the potential to increase this week depending on what happens in Turkey. That's because Turkey, though not a major oil producer, is an important pipeline area. Oil prices